Hey guys, welcome back to Figure. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Today we're going to take a look at Figma Link, and this is from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And it's been a while since I reviewed a Figma figure. I just don't get that many of them anymore. It's kind of sad because it used to be 50-50 back in the days with SH Figuarts and Figma, but Figma just kind of branched out to like IPs that I don't really care about. I kind of wish they make more SAO figures, Sword Art Online and stuff, but yeah, let me know in the comments on what you think. It seems like they're just focusing on the AAA game stuff and more Western IP, which I don't know. They're still really cool, but I just don't like the way they engineer the figures. Yeah, SH Figuarts 1/12 scale is just like the best right now with all the IPs and engineering, the durability. Figma is just kind of like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments on what you think. But for a character like this, I'm still going to buy it. Zelda has always been good historically from Figma. And here is the left of the box, here is the right of the box, and here is the back of the box. Of course, I will get the deluxe version. Comes with a lot of stuff. And yeah, for a figure like this, they're more and more premium. So now they have like a sleeve, which is really nice. You can see all these detail, and we have Link here. And wow, one thing I noticed right away is that he feels a little bit bigger compared to the Links I had before. Let me quickly grab like a Goku and compare the height. Yeah, he's definitely bigger. I don't know, maybe he scales better like this with some of the American IPs. But anyways, let's bust this thing open and see what we got. Still looks beautiful though. Figma is still really good at designing these boxes and giving it like a premium experience. Well, they are expensive, so yeah. Anyways, let's check it out. And here's the figures still in there, the packaging looking absolutely beautiful. My Master Sword seems a little bit crooked, so I might have to heat that up. But again, like, he feels a little bit big to me though, no? Let me know in the comments on what you think, but in my head, Link should be a tiny bit smaller. This kind of feels like a borderline 1/10 scale for me. Yeah, I am a little bit disappointed in that. I did order Ganondorf and Zelda, so if this size is like not in my standard or like within the scale that I collect, I might have to sell all of them. But anyways, let's check it out. I digress. Alrighty, here we have the figure itself, and my first impression on this figure is of course really good. I don't seem to have any paint issues. The joints are nice and tight and all that, right? And the joint quality is usually like a 50-50 when it comes to Figma figure. Just the way to design and they engineer the figures, like the joint just gets loose very quickly. But with this one, I feel like it could stay sturdy for a very long time, which is really good. And yeah, I don't think there's really anything that could go wrong with this figure. After all, this is a really important IP for Figma. Personally, I don't collect as many Figma as I used to, and I think it's because, like, you know, they just kind of stay the same, and the IPs they're working on doesn't really necessarily interest me. Back in the day, I used to collect the Sword Art Online stuff and some of the other anime stuff, but like, yeah, I don't know. Don't know what they're going with this, but they're still really premium and really good for the most part. This one comes with a lot of accessories, and he just looks really good. Definitely look like he walked out straight from the video game. It's really nice. The only personal issue I have is just probably like the scaling, right? He is a little bit bigger than I imagined. I had the Twilight Princess version. I just don't remember the Link being this tall though, but that's gonna vary from people to people. Some people might not care because like the collection is already like really tall in general. Like domestic figures are like way bigger, right? In terms of like, you know, 1/12 scale. But anyways, let me know in the comments on what you think, and let's check out some articulation. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over it from the neck down. Let me wait for it to zoom in a little bit. He can look up about this much. This feels really nice. You can look down about this much, which is okay. You can turn his head all around, no problem. It's actually pretty smooth, consider that this is a Figma figure. Usually it gets a little bit stuck. And then we do kind of have like a shoulder joint that kind of pulls out like a Revoltech ones or like the SH Figuarts one. But yeah, you have like the butterfly joint. You can raise his arm up about this much. And with Figma figures, you really have to be careful like when you're moving around. You don't want to chip the paint where like the plastic rubs against each other. And then it's just like very simple, you know, this is like a Figma joint, and then you have bicep swivel. This is actually quite tight. You can bend about this much. You have the wrist over here. I believe there's a swivel here. There's no swivel there. And yeah, the forearm doesn't have any swivel, which is kind of weird to me. I thought it would. And then for the ab crunch, I'm sure there's going to be articulation here, but right now it's like super stiff. But you do have limited movement over here, and I'm pretty sure there's just like a Figma joint in there somewhere. Maybe like a ball on like a hinge peg. I don't know. And then, yeah, all this is like kind of like hard. And this it's kind of like a soft rubbery plastic, but it is a little bit tough. So for the leg, I think you can only kick up about this much before I get uncomfortable with it. And you can bend about this much. And then you do have like a regular thigh swivels. And you have that usual Figma joint. I really don't like this type of joint because over time I'll have to put some tissue paper in there to increase some friction. It's going to get loose over time for sure with Figma joint like that. And then you have the usual toe hinge and the Figma design. And yeah, I think that's it. Like it's a really normal or like a very standard Figma articulation. Nothing is special over here, but he does feel very sturdy, so if you be careful with it, this one is going to last you for a long time, I think. But anyways, let's jump straight into the accessories. And for the accessories, he does come with a lot this time around, but we're going to go with the face first. The default face looks really good. I don't have any issues with it. It just looks beautiful. And next up, we have a smiling face, which looks really good as well. And I noticed they changed like the peg for the neck joint. That's why it felt smoother. This is like one of those clear plastic, like kind of with like their stand, instead of the usual plastic. So with two different types of plastic, this feels a lot more smooth when you're like removing it. So I guess that's like an improvement, like just within their own technology, right? There's nothing new. They just like kind of swap it around. So that's pretty cool. And the last face we got is a shouting face, which is probably my least favorite. Kind of wish we get like a teeth greeting face, but it is what it is. And I really don't understand why Figma wouldn't give us more faces, like in general, right? Because SH Figuarts has been doing that. Personally, I'm a big fan when it comes to a lot of faceplate, and I feel like it's like a low-hanging fruit for them to like mass produce, right? Instead of like giving us other accessories, like face is just like the way to go. But anyways, I digress. And next up, it's quite straightforward. We have the interchangeable hands, but I feel like they kind of cheap out on the interchangeable hands this time around. We only get like a few. We have like the arrow hands, like a pair of display hands, and just one left holding hands for the Master Sword. I know he's supposed to be left-handed, but it would be nice if we get like a right hand for holding weapons, right? But anyways, let me know in the comments on what you think. And we also have this interchangeable arm, which is really cool. On the bow damage, all this mechanical arm or whatever, it's really nice. And next up, we have the shields. They're very nicely painted and sculpted. You can actually see all these details sculpted on there. Really nice. They are just beautiful. And then we have the Master Sword, which mine is a little bit crooked out of the box, but after a little bit of blow dryer, it is really nice. It goes back to its original shape. But you have to be careful when you're like posing with this, because this is actually like a key design where it goes in a specific way. So if you like try to force it in a different way, you might break it. So be careful with that. And then we have this stone hammer, and I think this thing is hollow, so it's not as heavy as it looks, which is really nice, I think. Because if they make this whole plastic, like Link's not gonna hold this. And then we also have this rocket for, I guess, the dragon punch, and then there's like effect parts over here. I think this goes hand in hand. I didn't play the game, so I don't really resonate with this kind of accessories. And yeah, this is just like his floating piece and whatever, and you have like hands on here already, so he can just like kind of hold it and glide. And then lastly, we have the a little cape, and this kind of feels a little bit cheap. No wonder like there's like so many third-party companies that are making these, because yeah, these ones out of the box, they kind of feel like, actually this is exactly the same as those like tiny Lego capes. It's exactly the same thing. But anyways, yeah, I believe that's everything, and let's check out some action posing. Never mind, I found the right hand for holding the sword. My bad. And for the size comparison, let us start with the usual Figmas I have around, and as you guys can see, his scale is kind of like in his own scale, which is okay, I think. And next up, we have the usual Dragon Ball SH Figuarts. And then we have my favorite, the Naruto SH Figuarts. And then we have some of my recent favorites. And lastly, we have some One Piece and Mayfex, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I think this figure is an easy 10 out of 10, and I do highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the game, you're definitely going to love this figure. I mean, it's Link, come on. Like, everybody loves Link. However, I do think that you do not need a DX version unless you play the game. Because personally, I didn't play the game, so those accessories just didn't resonate with me, and it's just too much trouble and time consuming for me to pose with those. Yeah. I think that's it from me. Do let me know in the comments on what you think. I would go with the regular version if you're a casual fan. If you're a diehard fan, maybe the X version is worth it. But for me, I'm never going to touch those accessories. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.